Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello everyone, welcome to Sport Champ Talk Show, our life journey of an athlete. I am Bhushan Thakur, founder and editor-in-chief of Sport Champ, a sport education magazine. Today's topic is sports supplements, which according to me is a topic which very few knows and understand the process properly. Because of which I thought of discussing on the same as sports supplements plays a very important role in athletes' development. But important is right knowledge on the same. To discuss the same, we have a very special guest today with us, Mr. Prasanna Chaudhary, Managing Director of Nutra Supplements, a pioneer in dope-free certified supplements, only Asian company which is certified by Banned Substances Control Group, California, USA, approved for Tokyo Olympics 2021. He is an engineer by qualification and being working in the field of sports nutrition for last 12 years, along with wife Aspita Chaudhary, who is the nutritionist and a founder chairman of Nutra Supplements. Prasanna has represented the case of doping control in nutritional supplements, an Indian perspective at international conference organized by WADA and IOC, and they have acknowledged that Nutra supplements can be a role model for global companies to follow, especially in the field of manufacturing, supply, and batch testing of dope-free certified supplements. He is working closely with FSSAI, who has partnered with NADA for formulating the sports nutrition policy of India. He has also represented the sports nutrition policy document to Olympic Task Force and to Army Sports Control Board. Welcome to show, Prasannaji, and thank you for accepting my invitation and agreed to share key aspects of sports supplement with us, which will guide many in their journey of sports, which is the core purpose of the talk show. And what do you think about this platform?
Thank you so much, Bhushan. And this has been a great honor and privilege to be here in front of you. We have been, as a person, I have been following your show, not now, but even when you started thinking of Sports Champ as a magazine. And since that time, I was following and was preparing for the show, to be very honest. So it's a great honor and privilege to be here. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Prasannaji. As we have a format that when we start our show, we start with a very small sport champ challenge, and I'll ask you some simple questions, which will be something like any international player name which start with S.
S. Sangakkara.
Who?
Sangakkara. Cricket now, it's a high fever in IPL.
Okay.
So
Yeah, the IPL is starting from today, so
yes,
the fire
yes,
is on.
yes.
Any actor name which starts with A.
My favorite, Amitabh Bachchan.
Okay, okay. And one more. One is any singer name which starts with P.
Singer's name, P. Uh,
Yeah.
P for parrot. Okay, P. Of course. Sorry, Bhushan. I will have to pass on this.
Okay. So I have a next question for you. Any animal name which starts with D.
D.
Yeah.
Very hardworking like me, donkey.
Okay. So let's start. My first question with you is tell us about your life journey and how you landed into sports supplement. Being having an engineer background and
Yeah.
getting into something called sports supplement field. How does this happen?
Actually, to be very honest, I used to play at one point of time, but I'm a born spectator. That's what I define myself. I was never a competitive sports person
Okay.
in any format. And being
Okay.
into engineering, it was more of the hard work part of it, and uh, sports were not the key area. But everything it
Okay.
started because of my son, who is who was born premature by a month, and being nutritionist at home, we there was always a challenge that how his growth can be managed and maintained as per his age. So the challenge was always there. But when he was into about 8 year old, that was really the it was a tasking time for me and Asmita as a parents, because he started into active sports. He's into roller skating, and
Okay.
the amount of training he was undergoing, then the school activities, and it's a normal course whatever the parents goes through. We were also going through, and his height or his growth was hampered. So she started being a mother and a nutritionist. She tried to find some solutions in the market. Only Boost, Bormita, or bodybuilding supplements were there. Nothing for his age group per se. So she started formulating on her own, used all the supplements on him, and we got excellent results. And now he's 20. He's a national champion. He's a gold medalist, and even representing his university, representing state. So when this we got
Okay.
a lot of confidence that yes, whatever we are doing, formulating is benefiting the group. And then at very early age, we got associated with AFSMC, Armed Force Sports Medicine Center, where they did a lot of research on our product. So once they got results of our products, they introduced us to Army Sports Institute. So there, Colonel Anup Krishnan was there, Aradhana Sharma ma'am was there as a nutritionist, Colonel Rajesh Ada was there at AFSMC. So all these people guided us to make us understand more about the nutrition part of it. And then we started into commercializing this product. Till 2009-10, I am heading another business group which is into sourcing of steel. But during there was a recession between 2011-12. The dollar was fluctuating, so I got more time to focus on Nutra supplements, and that's how I'm into that business. And the passion thereafter is always there to do something new. So I landed up in this field. So it's an amazing journey, and uh, my son or my daughter also, who is equally into sports, are getting benefited out of it. So it's a homegrown product made for so from home to local and local to global. That's what the journey is all about.
Super. Super. Now, I would like to understand what is sports supplements, and in general terms, what many of them know is sports supplements are powders, pills, or drinks used to build muscle, lose weight, and improve endurance. How can you explain in simple terms for everyone to understand?
See, the supplement term itself is we need to understand the supplements are supplementary. I always give one simple example to all the school kids that along with question paper, what you get is answer sheet. You don't get supplement along with your question paper. So if the question paper is lengthy and you are, intelligent enough that your entire answer sheet gets over, then only you ask for supplement. Similarly, for sports supplements or any supplement per se, if you are not able to get entire thing from your normal diet, which should ideally you should be getting, but if you are exerting a lot, if you are training a lot, then whatever you are inputting and then only the supplements come into a picture. So supplements is something which complements your training efforts. I would say in a simple way. It's not. It's maybe in a powder form. It may be in a gel form. It may be in anything. but supplement should complement your efforts, and you should know why you are taking, how much you are taking, because it's a science. Even we are working with
Correct.
Sindhu and Saina now, even though they are the world best badminton players, but their diet is not same, their structure is not same. So we need to understand it has to be individualized. It cannot be generalized in a in a manner. So it will only give you results if it is properly tested, if it is properly known that for what reason you are taking. That is the most important aspect of it. So it all depends upon your height, weight, nature of game, phase of training, amount of intensity they are putting in, the normal food habits that you are having. So that is a lot of complex study needs to be done on individual basis. So supplement, I would say in a simple way, it's a supplementary and it should complement your efforts.
Prasanna ji, sports supplement, as you know, is one of the biggest market in the world, and there are genuine products and fake products. How someone can make out which is genuine and which one is fake?
See, particularly, it's not only in India, but it's a global survey was made that even in US, which is supposed to be the very stringent market, even there 40% of supplements are fake or duplicate. In India, it's about 70 to 75%, and this is reported by FSSI, which is a nodal body of certifying any product. Uh, what has happened in India, even the imported, what we have as an Indian, we always vouch for the foreign products. Now, foreign products are not always safe. They are
Correct.
also there. There are more chances of getting duplication of all these products. So, to specifically for sports person, what we have suggested to FSSI during our recommendations to have a separate what you say mark on the sports supplements, just like you have green for vegetarian, red for non-vegetarian. We have recommended to have a one more logo which will identify the sports person for a sports supplements. And FSSI have taken this consideration and they are working on it. But every sports person should look for a dough-free certification for even if it is a single container or a single bar, energy bars or protein bars or whatever he may be consuming as a sports supplements. He need to demand for a dough-free certified
Okay.
certification along with that product. And what certificate says, it has a batch number, so the same batch number should appear on that container, and that label or that certificate should also be available on the third party testing certificate lab also. So it's quite a simple process, but we need to follow those, because most of the even Indian companies are now writing dough free formula. So dough free formula doesn't make you dough free certified. Even few certificates are single liner, which again is wrong. It is complete. It has to mention that it has tested as per WADA norms, 487 elements which are banned by WADA. It has to be tested for all the elements which are used otherwise as a as a pharmaceutical product, which can be used as a in a normal case. But if it is consumed, then it needs to be tested for that also. So
So,
that
is there any
certificate is very important.
Prasanna, is there any certified body in sports in India which runs programs to help athletes, coaches, dietitians, or consumers to make right decisions when choosing sports supplements?
Unfortunately, everybody will talk about the doping control, and but nobody talks about the use of supplements. Now, in
Correct.
last couple of years, people have started coming up that yes, if we are not able to guide supplements in an appropriate manner, then they will be then the players will be forced to use anything and everything. What
Correct.
SAI has come up, Sports Authority of India has come up in 2015, the list of supplement that can be used. Unfortunately, they have not mentioned which are the companies which can be trusted, because at that government level, they are not able to do that. And not many, because sports supplement is just 1% of the market,
Correct.
99%, and this is particularly because the main market is the health industry or the fitness industry or the bodybuilding industry. Today, the scenario is that
Correct.
the person who is passing out of 10 standard wants to be Salman Khan next day. He doesn't have time, he doesn't have patience, and company knows it very well.
Correct.
Unless and until you have steroids and other things, you will not get faster results. And these are not being, they know, the company knows that they are not going to be tested for doping. So the process is going on. I'm quite positive about it. So Sports Authority of India is taking a lot of pains. NADA is working in that direction. PIFI, Physical Education Foundation of India is working in that, and we are partnering with each and every platform, so that because since 2012 we started this batch certification, the complete batch certification. Uh, Proud to say and sorry to mention also that we are the only company in India which is still following the norms. In the last 8 years, there's not a single company which has come up with that level. This is the sad part of it, but I'm sure that the scenario will change over a period of time.
There are different type of sports goals, as we all know. That different type of sports supplements needed to achieve the same. For example, Holland and Barrett International is one of the leading health and wellness retailers and the largest in Europe. Highlighted top 5 common sports goals and suggested 5 popular supplements for the same. To build endurance and stress resilience, rhodiola complex. To increase brain and body power, creatine. To maintain and build flexibility with healthy joints, fish oil. To recover quicker, magnesium. To build lean muscles, whey protein. Can you tell me, is it right? And how can athlete understand and plan the same?
So basically, there are a couple of supplements, I would say, which are trusted or which have been scientifically proved, which are showing the results. For example, whey protein are scientifically proven. Creatine is another which is scientifically proven and is not in the banned substance. Caffeine, in again, it's used majorly for the endurance game. It is showing good results for the faster recovery as well. Beta alanine is there, arginine is there. So there are group of supplements which are recommended, which are basically tried and tested on a international platform after lot of research. But there are supplements like BCAA. Now everybody who takes comes to the gym, his coach basically recommends us to go for BCAA. Now BCAA is an optional. It is, some results show it is good. Some results show it doesn't have any impact. So we need to go for only those supplements which are specifically have the scientific, results for it. And yes, as you rightly said, you need to understand the specific goal. For what reason you want to use that supplement? Now, for example, in India, you go east, west, north, south, we are basically having the entire carbohydrate diet. As against if you look at Europe or USA or Africa or Australia, their main staple food is protein. So we cannot replicate what they are using. We need to understand our own need. Our major population is protein deficient, but at the same time, there are various proteins right from toddler, right from 6 months to 3 years. Even Parex does have some whey protein. Is it not a supplement? Is it a supplement? Anything which is into concentrated form is supplement, but the goal is different. If you're into 8 to 15, boys and girls grow differently. So their needs are different. Boys would require more calcium than girls. Girls will require more iron than boys. We are also anemic population, specifically into sports. So we need to understand why I am using it. What is the need? For that, you need to do the blood profiling and the diet analysis every 4 months minimum, or at least once in a year, to understand your deficiencies. Yeah.
So, do you also authorize that for every type of sports goals, there is a different type of sports supplements which has to be taken?
Absolutely. Not only the specific goal, but also it depends upon the diet part also. Now we do a lot of screening with army sports boys. They eat a lot of protein in their regular diet. Lot of protein is given. For them, protein deficiency is not there. You would require protein only for the recovery part of it. That is just 10 to 12 grams. But if you look a normal guy who is not
Correct.
taking non-vegetarian, is a vegetarian, for example, he doesn't get a complete protein. Then even for the building of his blocks, would require protein along with the recovery part of it. So it is game specific. Also, it is mostly
Correct.
the individual specific.
Correct. So, uh, one question to you, Prasanna, is how does sports supplements help athlete in their sports performance? Can you just give a brief about it?
Yeah, for example, if you look at the creatine part of it, I will just take one example. Maybe protein can also, we can also take protein, for example. The protein is very common. Creatine is not that common, but protein is required by each one of us.
Correct.
Now, what
Correct.
happens if everybody requires muscle mass? Now, if you remove water from our body, whatever remains is 70% is protein. So that much for entire from your hair to nail, everything is consist of protein. What happens when you start training? When you start training
Mhm.
specifically, the muscle glycogen gets depleted, your blood glucose gets depleted, your basically, the muscle mass, what has been created, gets converted into energy, which it should ideally should not. So your entire performance depends upon the energy that is being stored in your body. So if you are not able to have a lean body mass, muscle mass is not there, you will not be able to store more energy. I always give one example of chocolate, the Cornetto ice cream. Cornetto ice cream basically resembles to protein, fat, carbohydrate. The cone resembles the protein part of it. The ice cream resembles to the carbohydrate part of it, and the chocolate, which is at the end, is basically the fat. So what happens when you start training? The first layer of the ice cream gets depleted. That is your glucose and glycogen. The next turn is your body start eating the cone. That is you start taking the energy from your the muscles part of it by breaking down the muscles. So if it is not repaired properly, what happens? That the permanent damage gets happen, and then you end up into stress fractures or training induced injuries would happen. Also, if there are less number of cones, for example, I have a 5 scoop of ice cream, but I have just one cone. What will happen? The ice cream will spill out. That means whatever carbohydrates I'm taking, that will get converted into fat. So to store that carbohydrates, I need to have an equal amount of muscle mass. So everything boils down to energy that is required for your sports performance, and energy is the basic idea where you can excel or in your individual performance. So storage of energy is very, very important, and how it is stored, how it is to be converted. Energy system, three energy systems are there in our body. Like under 10 seconds, one is under 10 seconds, another is between the games, which are duration up to 2 minutes and about 2 minutes. So depending upon that also, your supplementation, as if you want to use as an ergogenic aid, then you will have to understand the need of that specific energy system of your body. For example, table tennis, when you have a shot, it's basically ATP CP is get generated. So you need to have a adequate amount of creatine in your body. It is not like only bodybuilders would require creatine. Even a boxer, when he punches, he requires that a blow at that particular point. So creatine helps a very important aspect to this.
Okay. Prasannaji, you have very clearly briefed a lot of things because it's completely based on sports goals. And what you have also mentioned that sports goals, your sports supplement should be based on your sports goals. So even if you want to build endurance or stress resilience, there is a different working which you have suggested. To increase brain and body power, there is a different supplement which you suggested. And also to maintain power or flexibility or healthy joints. So that is something which is separate supplements are there which can help you out there, and to recover quickly or the quicker recover if there are sports which require quicker recovery, and finally to build lean muscles. So there are whey proteins which helps you out for those workings. So majorly these are the areas. I personally feel that there should be a guidance which has to be provided uh, through certain agencies or a certified body, because there are people who they want to take sport supplements, they want to get guided in this, but the unfortunate part is there is no guidance provided at the right for the athletes or the coaches or the people. So how can this be worked out? So I guess Prasanna ji has lost his connection, so he will be back.
Hello.
So what Prasanna
Hello.
ji was,
Can you hear me?
Prasanna ji, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, I
Complete.
can hear you very well.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
basically,
So
it's a hello.
yes, yes. Tell me, Prasanna ji.
Yeah. So I may not be visible. I think I have become Mr. India. So, but I think I'm audible.
Yeah, you are
Hello.
audible, but you can just log off and log in. I
Yeah,
guess
I
you
will
will
do
be
that.
back
I
on the
will do
track.
that. Will do that. So,
So till the time, I'll brief my
yes.
viewers
Yes.
about what you just said. You just log off and log in. So Prasanna ji, Mr. Prasanna, who has an engineer qualification and has 12 years of experience, and he has got into sports because of his son, because of his uh, wife, and he was explaining a lot about what is required. So he is back now with us. Prasanna ji, my next question, which I was wanted to ask you very eagerly, what are the side effects of consuming sports supplements? Like according to Australian Sports Anti-Doping Authority (ASADA), almost one in five sports supplements contain banned substances, including stimulants and anabolic drugs, also known as steroids. And health advice given by ASADA is when it comes to sports supplements, play it safe. Can you please get some lights on the same?
Absolutely. Means, as I mentioned, supplements are supplementary and it should complement your efforts. At the same time, the quantities are needs to be measured. And most importantly, you need to check whether these are DOFRI certified authentically or not. Because when the NADA or FSSI and other nodal bodies started educating kids and players about DOFRI certification, few companies have started approaching to certain third-party inspection agencies, but unfortunately, the certificates what they are asking is not in line with what is required actually. So it's basically it's very unsafe to say any supplements which is basically as a DOFRI formula or getting unauthorized certificate. There are certain companies in India which provide certificate as a DOFRI by themselves, or any there is no lab in India which can basically certify any product as DOFRI. There are 5 or 6 international labs which has the capacity to test the supplements as DOFRI. So yes, anything if it is taken in excess is harmful, but at the same time, if it is needed, you need to take it. There is no basically because the difference what supplements makes is 0.001%, but that difference decides about winner and loser.
Okay.
So yes, it has to be taken in adequate quantity under the guidance of sports nutritionist or sports medicine experts only. It is not something because my some partner is using, so I will also use the same. Is eating
Correct.
something. It is not generalized one. So it has to be very, very specifically decided, and you should know why you're using. And once
Correct.
you decide to use it, you should know the doping part of it and the certification part of it. You should demand to any shopkeeper from wherever you are buying the copy of certificate. Then only you can authorize to use it.
Fantastically put, Prasanna ji. There are many sports cases of doping in India of many sportsmen from various sports. The World Anti-Doping Agency (WADA) code is the document that brings consistency of anti-doping rules, regulations, and policies worldwide. Tell us something about how these policies are executed at the ground level.
Yes, basically, it's unfortunate that in WADA in doping violation, India is at number 5 and number 6. Earlier it was number 3. We have improved it. Now we are number 6. Uh, but it is very unorganized sector as far as supplements are concerned. The knowledge is not given. See what happens if a federation mention that they cannot use any supplements or otherwise. Then what happens? Everybody wants to excel. Now, this is not only pertaining to sports, but even if you look at Khelo India as a grassroots program, what government is trying to bring in sports in the country, even there are many cases, even at Khelo India, that you find the doping violations. The players are getting banned as young as 11 or 12 years or 13 years. Even
Oh,
at the induction of, yeah, even at the induction of the police training, the doping is done. Military training, doping is done. So doping is not now limited to the international levels. It has gone to that level that the kids have started using any kind of these supplements because at one stage government is encouraging kids to go into sports by giving grace marks. So in that, getting national medal or state medal, the kids go to the extent that they try to use all these banned substance and try to be in that group. So the best part is basically knowledge has to be there at grassroots level, and I think Sports Champ can definitely help and creating this awareness also because of your connection in so many schools. There has to be some program guideline because every
correct,
school will have a sports kids, and I think the sport starts at school. So if
correct,
you are able to create that awareness at that level, that what needs to be taken, it is no point in telling kids that you cannot use anything.
correct,
The moment you say this, you are giving or you are going or motivating them to use something on their own, which is pretty bad.
correct. Prasannaji, tell us something about how to plan using support supplements pre, during, and post training session, and how it helps the athlete for achieving results. Like how to plan that. Like from you, as you are the master in this field, if for all these athletes who will be listening it now live and also later on recording, so and this will be going across India. So, what will be your suggestion like, if someone wants to get into sports? How to plan a specific goal and how the supplements should be planned.
See, basically, there are short-term goals like on day-to-day basis. For example, I am training. As you rightly say, there are few supplements which are pre-workout. Now,
Correct.
pre-workout means, for example, my competition is there after 2 months or 1 month. Then, if I start using nitrate, which is basically nothing but beetroot juice in a simple form or in a concentrated form as comes as a nitrate. So this can be taken about 1 hour before your training workout, so that it gives, it helps you to retain oxygen more during your workout. Also,
Correct.
you need to understand that for your training, you would require, as I mentioned earlier, that you need to fill up your cones with ice cream. That means your carbohydrate loading should be adequate so that you can, train little longer. You can delay the fatigue. So you need to have this carbohydrate, food or drinks prior to your training part of it. Uh, of course, it has to be accompanied by the simple food also. If you are able to have dates, 2 3 dates, and have a sip of water, it will also act as a pre-training supplement for you. If not the
Correct.
protein powder part of it. Second
Correct.
comes the during training part of it. Now, during training, what you need is basically the continuous fueling of your activity. Now, if you're training just 30 35 minutes with a medium intensity, there is absolutely no need of anything. Just plain water is okay. If you're training with a higher intensity and you're sweating a little bit, just about 45 minutes to 1 hour training without not much of the sweating, then you can use simple carbohydrate. Even a plain sugar drink or carbohydrate drink is enough. So basically, if you are training more than 1 hour and you're sweating or sweating a lot, so you need to replenish your salts which are being lost by your by way of sweat. So you need to replenish that. So during that time, you need to have isotonic drink. Isotonic drink means it has salt also, sugar also, and water also. But if you're training more than that, about 1.5 hour or 2 hours intense training, what happens, as I mentioned earlier, your body has started eating the cone. So during intense training, that cone has to be getting repaired during the training part of it. So protein and carbohydrate ratio 1:3, 1:4, which has been designed, formulated by Army Sports Institute for their understanding our Indian training methodology. So they've suggested this protein to carb ratio 1:3, 1:4. So this needs to be used during the training part of it. Post training, again, blood glycogen is depleted, muscle glycogen is depleted. You want to have a faster recovery. All muscles are damaged. Your bones, whatever are present in your body, it has been cut half. So you need to repair that. So for the repairing of this cone can only happen by liquid protein. So you need to take liquid protein in 45 minutes so that it gets repaired. Now there might be questions that if I have eggs immediately after training as a recovery part of it, will it help? Because it's also protein. The answer is basically the time required for eggs or any complex protein will take longer time for its digestion till the time damage is already done. So you will not be able to have a faster recovery part of it. But yes, if instead of after for carbohydrate, regeneration of carbohydrates and glycogen, you can have banana. Half a banana, one banana is okay. So for that reason, you don't need any supplements part of it. So you need to plan your schedule. Whether are you going to, even for endurance training and weight training, you have a different supplementation program that you need to follow. For during, if you are doing some weight training, then you need to have a pre-training, particularly the nitrate you need to load in your body. If you are during training, then you are need to have some arginine as a part of supplements, or glutamine as a part of your, because your muscle needs to get recovered during your intense training. Protein supplements at the end of it. But if you are doing endurance training, then you need to take care of your hydration part more and your salts part more. So it all depends upon what kind of training that you are going to do. It's not like if I'm even going for training, I'm taking a protein supplements. Yes, you would require that, but not
Correct.
that quantity as you might be requiring for your strength training. So what kind of training that you are taking also depends upon the supplements that you need to use.
So it's important to design first to finalize your goal, specific goal, and then to start planning accordingly. Your nutrition supplements or your nutrition to plan accordingly.
Absolutely. Simple example, just to, if a swimmer is there and he's shivering a lot after coming out of water, there is a possibility that he is iron deficient. So if he's able to, do the blood profiling, try to understand what is required, and if you try to manage balance that, his
Correct.
those issues can be sorted out. So first of all, you need to understand what is the status of your body, what is the status of your blood, what you need to enhance in your that respective sport. Then only you can plan accordingly.
Personally, I don't know whether it is the right question to ask you, but what can an athlete do to get the best training without sports supplements? As everyone can't afford sports supplements, as it's expensive. So, what will you suggest them? And do you think it necessary for all? Like one of the famous actor and martial art professional Akshay Kumar, he was quoted saying, "There's a culture among our youth these days of using protein shakes and other supplements." And I am really against, and I don't understand why they take it. They are becoming a product of a product.
Yes.
People have forgotten to have ghee, milk, dahi, lassi, and stop eating home cooked food. So, what do you suggest on that?
See, it's a good question, and we also recommend the same thing. See, supplements cannot replace your basic food, and it should not. As again, I am mentioning that it is supplements are supplementary and complement your efforts. But for example, if a person is there about 60 kgs, for example, if you say 60 kg of a boxer would require about or even a maybe at a age group between 8 to 15, he is 45 50 kgs, and his requirement is about 2 grams per kg body weight. Now, for 50 kg kid, he would require about 100 grams of protein. Now, if you try to get that entire 100 grams of protein from natural food, which ideally he should be getting, now if you try to compare with eggs, now egg white will have about 3.5 to 4 grams of protein. Whole egg will have about 6 grams of protein, for example.
Correct.
If he has to get entire protein from his eggs, how many eggs he will have to eat to get 100 grams of protein in his body? It's roughly about 15-20 eggs, 10 to 12 eggs particularly. Is it possible to have a kid to have 10 to 12 eggs each day to balance that? The answer is no. See, if you are not doing much activity, if you are able to, so ideally if you are, so 70-75% still should come from your normal diet, but whatever the balance part is remaining, there is no alternative than to depend on supplements, unfortunately, because you're training that hard. Why? What
Correct.
happened between age group 8 to 15? Why we have all the junior champions? In all the sports we have junior champions. What happens when they become senior? How many gets converted those junior champions into senior champion? We see very very few names. Specifically, this happens because they get neglected on the nutrition part of it. They don't understand that the amount of intensity that they are putting in, the amount of effort that they are putting at the younger age, and if you are not having the enough food or not supplementing them with a proper nutrition and supplements part of it, they basically it's a early injuries, and injury kills the sports person. So they come out to sports because of injury part of it. Nothing more than that. And the entire growth also gets hampered because whatever they are eating, they are exerting more. So
Correct.
if it is
Prasanna,
balanced, yes, there is no need.
Prasanna, 50 years, 70 years back, there was no supplements.
Yes.
And people used to be used to work so hard and eat food and everything. So why now so much importance has started giving to supplements? How do you compare these two ages? I can say.
See, basically, if you look at the eating habits, I would say now look at our own eating habits. The time at what we get up, the amount of activity that we are required to do, the amount of exertion that we are required to do, the genetically modified food that we are eating, how much nutrition that we are able to get out of it. Earlier, they used to have pure ghee and other things and whatnot. The quality of pure ghee during that time and now, there is a lot of difference. Plus the competition. Now, if you look at Hussein Bolt record, and if you look at the sprinting record about 20 years back, or if you look at the champion, even now the marathons has become a sprinting.
Correct.
Even if you are basically running marathon under 2 hours, that means you are sprinting. It's a 100 meters. You are running consistently about 15-16 seconds
Correct.
for 2 hours. That was never the case earlier. So we are basically trying to become in our own self. The competition is more. The sports science has come into the picture. Everything is now science. Now, what is the stride length of Hussein Bolt as compared to others? We are able to judge that. Why it is happening? How I can increase that? How I can increase my flexibility? So the more the science comes into it, yes, passion is definitely there. But the sports now is not just a passion, but you cannot excel into that unless and until you have a backup of sports science. And sports science doesn't recommend to have supplements left, right, and center. It has to be modified. It has to be individualized, planned. You need to understand why it is required. So unfortunate part is that they everybody thinks a supplement as a magic pill. You cannot make a champion out of supplements. That is the bottom line.
Correct.
It is only important if it is required to a
Now,
specific quantity.
personally, now there are sports supplements for kids below 10 years also. So, what do you suggest their parents, coaches? Is it advisable for the kids to take sports supplement at that young age, and how to plan it?
See, basically, unfortunately, supplements has got a bad name for various reasons, and there are the industry himself itself is a reason to that. But if you really look at, we start using supplements at very very early age. What is Farex? What is Cerelac?
Correct.
If a child is not able to, if a lactating woman is not able to give that much of lactation to the baby, even after 6 months he needs food which is a complete the required food. He cannot have the kind of thali that he needs. He can get all the nutrients. So what is the option to that? So basically he has to depend on the Cerelac of Ferex or the similar kind of thing, which is nothing but a concentrated. I again want to say supplements are concentrated form of nutrients, free from any what do you say additives, or free from any anabolic steroids or otherwise. So
Correct.
supplements can be good as well, and you need to be wise enough to choose the right supplement. Now, second important aspect comes is that now you have Crocin syrup for younger kids, which comes into syrup form. For you and me, if it is we have a headache or otherwise we take Crocin tablet. Is it right to use the half tablet to a younger kid because he's a young? It's not the way. The formulation itself is a different one. The formulation, whether both are Crocins, but both are not basically, the Crocin which is suitable for a grown-up boys. You cannot make it half or quarter to give it to the younger kids. No.
Correct.
Similarly, for supplements part of it, if you look at I would again come back to the protein because that is something which is being required and consumed specifically between 8 to 15 years. Now the game start at very very early age. You do everything as a grown up boy, but you want to keep your eating habits as a boy or girl. What happens is, because if you're not eating properly, whatever you are eating gets drained out during your training. There are so many kids whose height has not increased even by a millimeter, and then the parents comes to us that they want supplements for their height gain. There is no supplement for gaining height. If you are not able to provide nutrition which allows him to growth, there is no supplement that will guide him. So it has to be a balanced nutrition, and if you are using the right amount of supplements of protein which is specifically for that age group, for example under 3 to 8 years, you can use demineralized whey, which is also used in Cerelac or similar baby foods. It is safe. All the heavy metals are removed. For younger group, it is a whey which is into a concentrated form, but not 70 grams or 100 grams. You need to limit the quantity of it. Even isolates it's not recommended below 18 years. But we need to be monitored. So need is there. Indian population definitely are protein deficient. So we need to, if it is, he has to eat so much of as a normal diet, but if he's not able to get, the timing is not permitting him, then there is no other way than to depend on the right form of supplements, which is
Thank you.
also DOFRI certified. So
Thank you
3
so
to
much.
8 supplements needs also to be DOFRI certified.
Super.
Yeah.
Here ends our serious questions. Now we come
Yes.
to our last round, which is a 60-second rapid fire questions. And I
Okay.
hope you are ready for that. So,
Hopefully, yeah.
first easy one for you is which is your favorite book?
It's Marathi. I read a lot of Marathi books. One book that has changed my life is Vapurza by V.P. Kale, or Vapu Kale, we call him.
Okay.
So this book you can read from any page. It has paragraphs in it, and each paragraph is basically a learning lesson. So, and then Shamchi Ai, which is basically by Sane Guruji. So these are the two Marathi books, the favorite.
If you become the sports minister, what first change you will bring in the country?
Basically, see, I would like to make sports as a fun.
Okay.
I know, and a compulsory part in a school. That is something that I would like to make it. It has to be fun. It has to be, the competition is there, but then competitive spirit kills the passion of a sports person.
Correct.
So I would definitely like that. The compulsory sports should be compulsory part of your curriculum. Plus, it has to be a fun part of it rather than making it more competitive.
The enjoyment should not die from the sports.
Yes,
Basically.
that's right.
Correct. Which other
And
name
parent
then?
has to be taught. Yeah, the parent interference of parents to be avoided.
Perfect. Which other name then Prasanna suits your personality?
Uh, which other name?
Which other name than Prasanna?
Other name than Prasanna. And you will again ask why. So, so I would say because it's a Vijay. I would suggest a suitable name for me as a Vijay because of Amitabh Bachchan also, but more of it. I am a strong believer that if not you, then who? If not now, then when?
Acha.
So that's had been my principle, and ultimate goal is to to be Vijay on yourself and your the passion part of it.
And a die-hard fan of Amitabh.
Yes, I am.
So, which is your dream place?
Dream place means even I close my eyes, I see my factory. You know,
Oh,
we have not been there, but it's a beautiful place.
okay.
I think my dreams are quite achievable, and so
Every day.
yes, it's a passion place. It's a passion gets converted into action,
Correct.
and yes, it's my dream place forever.
Fantastic. What is your favorite hobby?
Hobby, basically, I love to travel.
Okay.
I used to read a lot earlier, but not now. Maybe certain reasons, but I love traveling for whatever reason. So that's the reason I always choose marketing. So you can meet more people. So traveling is the my more passion and hobby.
Super. What is one thing that annoys you the most?
Uh, basically, it's something that when people understand that there is a importance of certain things, but then they don't uh, tell you openly. As far as particularly, I've seen a lot of such cases happening in the field of sports nutrition. To be very honest, uh, and yeah, sometimes I really don't understand if an engineer can do or think the way
Correct.
they should be,
Correct.
why can't they? So this is something really annoys me most of the time when I talk to a few nutritionists or the sports medicine experts also to that level.
One thing world does not know about you.
Uh, you will be surprised, but I do write poem sometimes.
Oh,
It's occasional.
okay.
Quite not many I have written, but one I have written during my pass out from my diploma while my send off speech was there. I prepared one. When my son turned 18, I wrote one. So it's a spontaneous. I don't have to think much when I start writing, but that is rarely happening in
And
my 47 years of age.
if it is not too much, then can we listen one line, one or two, the favorite one from your
Again,
side?
it's Marathi again
Yeah, yeah.
because that thing I can remember.
Yes.
This was a poem, so I will also try to translate in English if required. But this was a very small college, and again we it was our first batch which organized gathering. Uh, in that college, it was a government polytechnic bid. I passed out. I could not get admission in any other college, but it was really a turning point for me. So the poem goes: Government Polytechnic bid is GPB. GPB मध्ये प्रवेश घेता मिळाली आयुष्याला गती नि नाही आता भविष्याची भीती नि नाही आता भविष्याची भीती घेऊनी शाखा यंत्र यंत्र मीन्स मेकॅनिकल घेऊनी शाखा यंत्र तंत्र मी जाणून घेतले मनी नि नाही आता भविष्याची भीती गुरुजनांचे आभार भारी शिकवले आम्हा घ्या भरारी उंच उंच शिखरावरी वा आयुष्यात महारथी नि नाही आता भविष्याची भीती नाही आता भविष्याची भीती. In short, it is all about my college and my teachers who taught me to be grounded and also to live my passion. And that is place where I means when I met Prasanna to Prasanna. Till that time, I was living in illusion, but the reality, what the place that has given me is my own identity to myself.
Super, Prasannaji. Fantastic. Super. Describe yourself in three words.
Forever 21.
Three words.
Yeah. Passionate and mad about some things,
Okay.
and innovative as well. I'm quite innovative in a way.
So passionate, innovative, and
Uh, and you can say hardworking equally.
that
Yes.
that is the basic of all the things.
Yes. Yes.
Hard work. What is the best quote you believe the most?
Uh, be the change,
Be the
because
change.
that is something. Yeah, as I mentioned, and also the which I have narrated earlier. If not you, then who? If not now, then when? And be the
Yes.
change. These are something which I believe the most and follow also, because many a times it happens that you get it's talking to minister levels or otherwise you get carried away, or you are fearful that whether they will listen to you or not. If you go
Correct.
with policy change, then you are not sure whether you are able to do that. It's no
Correct.
point in, basically I strongly believe that there is no point in talking about system to change the system. It is you that who can change it.
Correct.
So that's the quote.
If you have three wishes, what will be that currently?
Uh, I want to be. I don't want to have. Of course, want to be a nutritionist in next. You know,
You already have a wife.
no, I am, but it's uh, so qualified nutritionist, I would say.
So you
Uh,
you mean to say she is not qualified?
See, the paper. I doesn't have the paper, to say that.
Okay. I'm just bringing. I'm just
Yes,
trying to.
yes, yes.
Super.
Uh, then yes, people. The other another wish is that all the family members and everything should be healthy. It's not about money, but staying fit.
Correct.
And that wish, I think God has already listened to that. My kids are passionate about what they eat, what they do,
Super.
and they are equally into actively into sports. And I wish that everybody, every kid should be fit. We are a part of Fit India movement. Everybody should work on the fitness part of it and to be more and more happy, because the time is definitely there when everything will be monitored remotely. So you will get lot of time. So during that
Correct.
ample amount of time, only fitness that is going to be there. And in recent pandemic, the fitness has taken to a next level. If you are active enough, then this cannot touch you. But if you are not, then you are likely to get what you say, infected by something or the other.
Correct. Last two questions. What brings smile on your face?
uh, the end of every session,
Huh?
because I end of session, because and yes, whenever I see that people are it's the family around, I think that brings smile. My daughter and my son, of course. So whenever I'm in around family, they brings joy and happiness. And when I see that a little bit things what we have been able to do in last couple of years, this is making a change. So that also gives us some proud feeling, and smile automatically comes thereafter.
Wow. Last question. Which is your favorite song? And I know you are very sporty, so we would like to hear it from you. Two lines. That's it. Any with the
Uh,
favorite song.
See, again, I would say there again two very different songs I love the most. If you allow me, I want to
Anyone.
yeah, two. One is from by Veer Savarkar.
Okay.
So the song says when he was in prison at Andaman, he wrote this song. Uh, ने मज सीने परत मात्र भूमीला सागरा प्राण तळमळला सागरा. So basically, he wrote in, he wanted to reach the country line as soon as possible. He was requesting sea to take him there. So that is one song. And second song again, it's altogether a bouncer, which is from Mukaddar Ka Sikandar. So
Okay. Yeah, something from Bollywood.
yes. So this is a famous song on his bullet. He says that रोते हुए आते हैं सब हंसता हुआ जो जाएगा वो मुकद्दर का सिकंदर जाने मन कहलाएगा. So that's it. And
Super.
uh, I wanted to sing. I wanted to be sing in my college. But the first thing when the audition was going on, the concerned person came and said, "Prasanna, you do anything with but not singing, please." So so today I got a chance. Thanks
Then
for
you
that.
became the engineer.
Yes.
No, you sing very well. You sing really well.
Thank,
It's
thank you.
super. Thank you, Prasannaji, for such a wonderful experience and knowledge. Before we log off, do you would like to address one or two lines for all our viewers so that they remember what they have to do when it comes to sports supplements?
Yeah, basically, I have been telling that supplements are supplementary. You should understand how much quantity needs to be taken, what are
Correct.
the results that you are wanting to do, what results that you are likely to expect by getting these supplements, and most importantly, you should not take this under anybody's recommendations, nor your parents, nor your coaches, but only under the guidance of your sports nutritionist and sports medicine experts if you have. And if you don't have anyone, I would request on the Sports Champ platform that Bhushanshi can create one number where anybody can ask, because doping is such a stigma to our sport person's life. Knowing unknowingly it happens, and if you are able to provide that one helpline number in all the magazines hereafter, so that if
Okay.
anybody wants to use anything, they can just take the photograph and send it to us, and we will try to tell them that whether these are dope free or not, or we can check it for you if it is not available for you. So that
Wow.
support can
Super.
definitely provided on this platform. And wishing you, because there is no compromise to hard work. Supplements can only bring some effect, but only if it is needed, and it has to be guided properly. So no shortcuts to your hard work. Keep doing it passionately, and results will come, definitely come. And I would definitely want that our tricolor should go high, and if you have that in mind, then you will not dare to do any such wrong things by doping and other
Correct.
things. If you think of tricolor all the time, you will not do any this wrong deeds, I would say, by way of getting into shortcuts. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Prasannaji, for such a wonderful experience and knowledge sharing on sports supplements. I think it will definitely guide many upcoming champions and sports fraternity in their journey of sports and achieving target sports goals. Dear viewers, I hope you have enjoyed the show and also learned a lot from this episode. I request viewers to like Sports Champ Facebook page to be updated on all upcoming videos, because every week we are coming up with new areas of sports. Thank you, everyone. Keep watching and keep liking.